Hello everybody, this is MD Starcraft. The MD does not mean I have a degree in gaming, it stands for Maryland, that's the state in where I live. Ha, my grammar is fail. Anywho, today I have for you the conclusion of the series, the 5th game in the series between Naama, playing as Terran, and Lalush, playing as Zerg. Do note Lalush has returned to blue for this last match, which is going to be on Blistering Sands. Naama is the red Terran top right, Lalush the blue Zerg in the bottom left. So anywho, Naama has used the exact same build 4 times in this 5-game series, and won 3 of the games. He lost the first game. Lalush out-macroed him, did a really nice Roach Hydra engagement at one point. We saw a similar strategy from last time, except Lalush wasn't able to beat Naama in that giant Roach Hydra incursion. And Naama, each game has gone for this really weird fat gas before barracks into fast factory build. I mean, maybe it's not really weird, maybe you guys see it all the time, but I have never seen it. That's just me. Lalush losing the past 3 games to a very similar Hellion into Banshee Harass into a Marine Marauder Medvac ball with a few tanks supporting. Looks like Naama going to do the same build again. So if you're just tuning in, you can see this. And I originally thought these guys were hammering out build orders, specifically Naama, because he was using the exact same one every game. But last game, Lalush completely raged at the end, calling Naama a noob and saying that the game was made for him. So I don't know. Maybe this wasn't like some kind of tournament or something like that. Anywho. Naama is rolling in not without the supply depot, just going to do a barracks, maybe afraid of a bust. This map, Blistering Sands, I have to say, I just played a Terran vs Zerg, and I actually played 2 Terran vs Zerg, one each way, and I lost each of them, so I do see what can happen on both sides of the spectrum. Terran, the advantage is the Zerg only gets like 4 bases on his side of the map, and this 3rd base is really hard to secure and defend. So Terran can stop the Zerg from macroing, however the Zerg do get these backdoor rocks and they can run into the Terran's base if they destroy them. So it's a very interesting map. I wouldn't say that's specifically favored for either side. Maybe you out there will completely correct me, but I haven't seen enough really professional games on this map to decide. And here we do have a kind of fast gas. It's not really fast if the pool is already done going out for Lalush. Interesting build. Woo! Random teleportation to the edge of the map. Really interesting build. Looks like Lalush finally going to secure his expansion at around 20 food, moving his drone out, but this SCV is going to deny it. This SCV has anything to say about it. He won't get this expansion. It's very annoying to do this if you're playing against a Zerg. Just move your SCV around and deny the expansion. This drone not going to be able to do anything until these Zerglings come out to help. Zerglings are on the way, Queen 2, and it looks like Naama doing his fast factory is getting the factory up at the moment. Do note that if you try to wall in here, there is a slight gap that Zerglings can run by. A lot of people don't know that, but I did just play this, so you need a reactor here. I did just play this. I actually was in the same positioning as Terran, but I lost to Zerg. And there's a gap here, so you need to put the reactor building something there. And it looks like Lalush doing his extractor trick, which he did in 2 of the games in this series, I think. Naama is going to try to slowly whittle it down. It looks like these Zerglings going to take out this SCV. Probably going to start to work on these backdoor rocks, as if you forget about those backdoor rocks, it can really be detrimental to your game plan, as in, you have 50 speedlings in your base. Is that detrimental enough for you? Anywho, so Lalush is getting expansion now, not doing much with the Zerglings. He isn't getting speed yet, he doesn't have enough gas. We do have the Baractor port build, the Barracks Factory Star port, also called the 111, but I call it the Baractor port going down for Naama. Probably going to do his Star port in a Banshee, which we've seen in a few games, to try to do some Banshee harass. However, Lalush makes a lot of queens in his playstyle. Last game he had 4 queens, so by the time the first Banshee rolled around, and the Banshee just wasn't that effective. I mean, 4 queens, you're not going to be that effective against that. Anywho, we do have 1 Hellion out, roaming across the map, probably going to secure each of these watchtowers, as Hellions do pretty easily roam the Zerglings away. And this Hellion is going to come up here, run, Zergling, run! You're going to die. Poor Zerglings. And flame. Hellion didn't even take damage. Do know this is a really good Overlord positioning to see when this expansion goes down. We do have Roaches coming down, so Lalush, realizing that his opponent has done the same build every time, is going to get a few Roaches out to defend. Hellion Harass is not that effective on this map because of this choke. You can throw down 1 Spine Crawler or some Roaches, and Hellion Harass just isn't that good. Do note this Hellion did take a few shots from this Zergling, however he still killed him, and he has 1 buddy out now. There's his other buddy, but he's not doing anything. And Naama, realizing that his harass will stall the Zerg player for a bit, is throwing down his own expansion to try to counter it. And we do also have a lair going on. So Lalush only sticking with 2 queens, so this Banshee harass might actually be pretty good, as he doesn't have another one on the way. Maybe this wasn't the last game in the series, but this is the game that I found him in. And it looks like after the first initial Hellion harass, Naama switching back to pump Marines out of this barracks. Very interesting play here. I think in the past games he made a bunch of Hellions. Maybe in this one he decided to go for something else. These Hellions running away from the Roaches, as these Roaches could probably take these Hellions if the Hellions don't micro really well. Hellions can kill Roaches with micro, it just takes them forever to do it. Anyway, we have another barracks going down, so it looks like naama going to transfer into his Marine Marauder, more heavy build. He's finally getting a second gas. This Banshee is on the way. Banshee attack. And you know, there are only two queens down for anti-air. However, he does have a creep highway between his two bases, spreading the creep like a pro. So he's going to be able to defend. And we have 5 Roaches out. This Banshee will be able to kill them because these Roaches cannot shoot the Banshee. So this attack for lalush won't do anything. It'll just lose him a bunch of Roaches, especially since there's another Banshee either coming out or already out. But, ooh, that Roach getting burned away. Poor Roach. It does look like it might snipe a few SCVs here and stop this expansion from going down for the moment. However, it is going to kill actually some Hellions instead. Lalush going for the Hellions instead of the SCVs. SCVs repairing the Hellions. Very interesting micro here from naama. Lalush can lose all his Roaches here, not going to do too much damage. However, it was only 5 Roaches. Looks like Hellion's going to come back out now. There is a Hydra then going down now, so the Banshee probably won't be that effective if it does decide to attack. Because I do think we have a second Banshee down. I can't find it. Yeah, we do have a second Banshee down. This Banshee and this Banshee. This Banshee's in at 3 kills. Total awesome Banshee. And do note that the players are off even bases. Like I said, it's very hard to secure this third, as it is not only a far way away, but you also have to destroy the rocks to get to it. Looks like naama going to check over there just in case. Is going to come in from behind here. Probably going to snipe this queen, or just go for drone micro. Banshees are one of the better units to micro in the game. Not as good as like Reapers or Hellions or something, but you still can do some nice Banshee micro. And he 2 queens coming out now. Neither's enough to transfuse, so this Banshee should be able to take him down. This queen is going to go down. Poor queen. Hardly knew her. And there are Hydras down there, so I don't think these Banshees are going to be survive for much longer. This Banshee is going to go down. This one escaping. The one with the 3 kills escapes. Yeah. Go Banshee with kills. Anywho, naama is saturating his second though, so he's going to be on even economic grounds with the Zerg. Plus he's going to have meals, and he is going into the steep 2-star port build, which we saw him do last time to get a few extra Banshees. However, he's also bringing down some medvacs. He's probably going to use this starport to get that Raven with Tech Lab. However, lalush has a very scary force right now. naama doesn't have that much on the ground. I think if lalush pushed, he could do a lot of damage because naama really doesn't have a counter to the Roaches yet. He doesn't have any Marauders being produced. He's just on Marines. A Viking. He does have 1 Marauder, actually. Excuse me. But he only has 1 barracks with Tech Lab, and it's making Marines at this point. Stim's not done either, so it looks like lalush, realizing he has an opportunity, is going to push out with a very scary force at this point. There aren't any Banshees down, just 1 medvac, 2 bunkers going down for naama. I think he had a watchtower. He is realizing this is very bad for him, and it looks like lalush is going to go in through the back door. Like this call, rendering these bunkers almost completely useless. naama's going to be very annoyed at what he sees here when he realizes these backdoor rocks are already broken and that there are a lot of guys coming in. naama bringing the SCV over just in time to see them go down, is going to realize that there is no hope of getting his forces around. Is he going to get them around? Where is this guys? He's loading them in the bunker only to realize that now. And it looks like lalush completely juking him is going to send his Zerglings in behind, maybe his main force in through the front door, to completely confuse him. Zerglings coming from behind, and that's where most of naama's forces. However, this 1 bunker staying loaded up. Very good call here from naama, keeping guys in this one. lalush is realizing it's just 1 bunker, is just going to take it down. Maybe use the Hydras to snipe SCVs instead. It does look like the bunker's going to go down. But nice transfer of guys into this bunker, however. There wasn't anything repaired, so they went down too quickly. And it looks like naama trying to get some guys desperately out. However, these Roaches, very good against the Marines. They took a lot of damage, however, bringing all the SCVs out and the Hellions. Looks like